Hello, welcome to Gopal'astrology channel. Today I'm going to be covering about the topics of the zodiacal signs and their the rulers or the lordships, and also followed by the nakshatras or the constellations and their interactions. How to understand nakshatras with the background of the zodiacal signs. All right. Let's go to the details of the video. So I'm now explaining about the zodiac signs, Rashis, and their lords. What do you mean by exactly the lords of the zodiacal sign? It is something like imagine there is a house that is built by one person, and he obviously becomes the owner of that house. And whoever goes and occupies that house becomes the tenant or the occupant, right? The same thing actually happens to the planets as well. So certain zodiac signs are ruled by certain planets and they are called the owners, okay? And then the next one is whoever goes and occupies that particular place, they becomes the occupant of the tenant. Okay, based on the likes and dislikes of a planet being placed in a particular zodiac sign, they are going to give the results. Okay, whether it's a happy planet, which is known as exalted planet, whether it's not a very happy planet, it's known as the debilitated planet. Okay, we are going to get the results. All right. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit one by one. Okay, the top view of our solar system looks something like this. Sun obviously is in the center, and we see the blue color icon here. The blue color circle is our planet Earth. Inner planets, namely the Mercury and Venus, they go around the sun very fast, and they complete their one full circulation, one full revolution around the sun within approximately 1 month. In the same time, even the planet Mars also takes roughly about a month to complete its journey around the sun. As you observe here, the two slow moving planets, namely the Saturn, which is the slowest of all the planets, and Jupiter, are being shown here. Okay, Saturn takes almost 30 years to complete one full revolution around the sun, and Jupiter is the next slow planet, which takes about 12 Earth years to complete one revolution around the sun. Okay, now there are a lot of research work that is being carried out in the recent past for the effects of the planets which are beyond Saturn. Whereas our ancient Vedic astrology texts, they do not clearly depict about any details beyond Saturn. So I'm going to stick to that particular area, and then I will just give you some briefing about what is there beyond Saturn. Okay. Now, let's put that solar system in the form of box like this. I have written 12 boxes here. Okay. Now, first zodiacal sign is Aries. It is ruled by Mars, and the Mars also rules zodiacal sign of Scorpio or Vrishchika Rashi. Okay. Next one, Venus. Venus rules Taurus, followed by Tula Rashi or the Libra. Then Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. All right. Next, the luminary, the Sun, has only one house under its rulership. It is the Leo or the Simha Rashi. So, king of the planets, Sun rules Leo, followed by the queen of the planets, which is the queen of the grahas, which is the moon, and it rules Cancer or the Karkataka Rashi. All right, Saturn has been given two houses under his jurisdiction, that is Makara Rashi or Capricorn and Aquarius or Kumbha Rashi. And then we have Jupiter, it has got Pisces and Sagittarius under its control. Okay, so all together we can just see something like the board of game of chess. You have the king and queen in the center, something like sun and moon, and followed by bishops, and then you have two soldiers in the front, the Mesha Rashi. The Mars. Mars is a soldier, followed by the minister, the Jupiter, and then all the rest of the people under as the general public as Saturn. Okay, so it is very, very similar to understand, and the zodiac sign is totally 360 degrees, and each Rashi is 30 degrees. Good. So further, we can also understand certain characteristics of these zodiacal signs. Aries or the Mesha Rashi is a movable sign, Taurus is a fixed sign, and Gemini is a dual sign. So this movable, fixed, and dual signs forms a cyclical pattern, followed by Cancer, Leo, Virgo, etc. Okay, so this forms always a cyclical pattern: fixed, movable, fixed, and then dual. So we also can introduce other characteristics of these zodiacal sign in the form of Pancha Mahabhuta elements. That means the fiery element. So these three zodiacal signs, namely the Aries or the Mesha Rashi, the Leo or the Simha Rashi, and then Sagittarius or the Dhanu Rashi, they form the fiery triangle. These three are called the fiery signs. Okay, and then Taurus or Vrishabha Rashi, followed by Gemini, the Virgo, Kanya Rashi, and then the Capricorn or Makara Rashi. These three are called the earthy signs. Okay, 12 signs are Gemini. I'm sorry. The Aries signs are Gemini, the Libra, Rashi, and then the Aquarius. Okay, and then finally comes the water. Watery signs are Cancer, Karkataka Rashi, Scorpio or the Vrishchika Rashi, and then Pisces or the Meena Rashi. So now we can see that all the four elements of out of five elements, namely the fire, earth, air, and water, is covered here, and then Akasha Tattvam or the space is the one which holds all these together. Okay, so this is how we are going to classify the zodiac signs and understand the characteristic of each of the people born under these particular zodiac signs. Okay, so it's all summarized here as well, and I have given the list of all the characteristics of each of them, and also the body part, which was explained in one of the previous video. It's been very clearly explained in this particular slide. Okay, so this is the tabular column, and it has the zodiacal sign and its owner. Okay, Taurus is by Venus, Gemini is by Mercury, Karaka Rashi Cancer is by Moon, Leo by Sun, Virgo by Mercury, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now, as I told you that there is always how the human beings are going to have enemies, friends, and neutrals. The planets also have the similar kind of traits. Okay, the Sun, for example, it treats Moon, Mars, and Jupiter as its best friends. Mercury becomes the neutral planet for Sun, and real enemies are Venus and Saturn. That means, what is the meaning of this? Whenever the Sun is placed in a particular zodiac sign, and its enemies for like Venus or Saturn go to the same sign, then the results are not going to be that good for the person born under that combination. All right. If it has its best friends, namely the Moon, Mars, and Jupiter, they give very good results with Sun. Okay, and so on and so forth. It makes the same effect actually. If Sun is owning Leo, for example, these three planets do very well in the friendly sign of Leo. So it's always the same explanation that can be given for zodiac sign as well as the planets which are owning them. Okay, Moon has the best friend as Sun and Mercury. Mercury has the best friend as Sun and Venus. Venus has Mercury and Saturn as its best friends. Okay, Mars has Sun, Moon, and Jupiter. Jupiter has Sun, Moon, and Mars. Saturn has the best friend as Mercury and Venus. And these are all the neutrals, and these are the enemies. And if you really observe this tabular column, you will notice that Moon is the mother of all the planets. It doesn't have any enemies at all. It's everybody as neutral, and its best friend are Sun and Mercury. That's the speciality of Moon. Okay. Now, I will introduce another term called exaltation and debilitation of planets. Uchasthanam and Nichasthanam. What is Uchasthanam or the exaltation? It's the placement of planet in a particular sign where it's going to feel that it's very, very happy, and it's going to give the most auspicious of all the results, and that's the best placement of a particular planet. And opposite to that, you can say debilitation or the Nichasthanam. So the particular planet will lose its interest, and it's not going to give the native that good result at all. Okay, so the summary has been very clearly put here. I'll just read out for the exaltation of planets here. Sun gets exalted in Aries or Mesha Rashi. Of course, there is some degrees and minutes in which it is there. I will give you more details later on. But please understand that Sun gets exalted in Aries, Moon gets exalted in Taurus or Vrishabha Rashi, then Jupiter or Guru, it gets exalted in Karkataka Rashi or the Cancer, and then Saturn gets exalted in Libra, Mars gets exalted in the zodiacal sign of Capricorn, and Venus, it's going to get exalted in the Pisces zodiac. That's the last zodiacal sign of Pisces. It's also called as Moksha Karaka zodiacal sign. All right. Then, of course, I have listed out the same summary one more time. What are the symbols that we normally use in astrology for representing each of these planets and its area of influence? For example, Sun influences us. It's the engine of the horoscope, as I keep saying that, and it has the vitality of a particular individual. Moon represents our emotions and instincts and habits and things like that, the way we think. Mercury is all about the intelligence that we have and the communication skills that we have. Venus shows the appreciation for beauty and art and the love. Mars is a soldier. It gives how we take action, what is the desire that we have, the aggression that we show, the courage that we show. Okay, Jupiter is all about the guru. It's the one who gives the most optimism, abundance. It's an expansion planet. And Saturn, of course, it restricts. It's a karmic planet. It shows pessimism, and it develops always a shape and structure. It gives the direction for us to move on in this present life. And as I said that, of course, these are all the Indian names and the Western names, just for comparison purposes. I just put a blue color box here to just tell you that the planets beyond Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, North Node, South Node, of course, we call it as Rahu and Ketu. We give a lot of importance for it anyway. I will make a video on that separately later on. And there is something called Chiron. Okay? So the Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Chiron. In addition to that, we have planet X, Y, and Z. So these are the new concepts that research is going on in various aspects of them, and how they are influencing the human beings. So there is a lot of study that is being conducted, but as of now, we really don't have much of evidences in our classic Vedic astrology books. Okay, so let's try to understand a little bit more about the further extension of zodiacal signs. It's known as constellation or nakshatras. Okay, what exactly is a nakshatra? Nakshatra don't just go by one star. Star, literal meaning of nakshatra is a star, basically. But there is a group of stars. A collection of stars are given a particular name. Okay, in our Vedic astrology. So what do mean by understand by this is this? It's the lunar mansion. That means the background of stars for the moon. It's going to give a lot of importance to draw our Panchanga days. That means Tithi, Vara, Nakshatra, Yoga, Karana. There are 5 elements of a lunar calendar. Okay, so for that we will make use of these nakshatras. Some people say that there are 28 of them, but majority of our classical textbooks talks about 27 of them. Okay, so there are 27 nakshatras which can be superimposed along with zodiacal signs. Okay, it's very important. It's one of my favorite parts of studying the Vedic astrology along with the zodiacal signs. So what we understand here is this. I have given you the 12 zodiac signs, and now I'm going to superimpose them. Okay, for example, the Aries or the Mesha Rashi is going to have Ashwini, Bharani, and the first part of Kritika Nakshatra. So please understand that every nakshatra or the zodiac constellation has got 4 portions. We call it as 4 padas, right? So always any zodiacal sign, if you take, there will be total 9 padas or the 9 portions. So 4 portions of Ashwini, 4 portions of Bharani, and 1 part or 1 portion of Kritika Nakshatra lies in the zodiacal sign of Mesha Rashi or the Mesha Rashi or the Aries. And now you can see in Rishabha Rashi, the next three parts of Kritika Nakshatra is going to stay there. Okay, and Rohini has its full four parts, followed by the next nakshatra called Mrigashira Nakshatra. The two parts of Mrigashira Nakshatra stays in Taurus, and the remaining two parts goes to Mithuna Rashi or the Gemini. Okay, so on and so forth. This is a beautiful chart which clearly explains where are the placement of these constellations. Of course, please understand that it's not that easy to understand fully in one shot. So I'll be making individual separate videos because my intention is to make common man aware of our rishis knowledge. Okay, so as I told you, the constellations, you need to connect the dots as well, similar to how we did for zodiacal signs. For example, Ashwini Nakshatra forms the shape of a horse. Okay, something like a horse. And at the same time, if you take Bharani, it will form like a shape of an god of death, or Yaman, something like that. So many imaginary shapes can be derived, and then you can join those dots to understand them. Okay, so that's it. So it's a complex system of zodiacal belts as well as constellation belts around planet Earth. Okay, and the combination of these gives a lot of importance, because each of these constellations also have their own lords. For example, Ashwini, Magha, and Mula Nakshatra is ruled by the south node or the Ketu. Okay, Bharani, Purva Falguni, and Purva Shada Nakshatra is ruled by Shukra or Venus, so on and so forth. So this is a very important tabular column. Why? Because when you see these lords or planets for each of the nakshatra, our dasha and antardasha system, which I'm going to cover in the upcoming videos, is all fully based on this cycle. The first dasha or Mahadasha is Ketu, followed by Venus. Shukra Dasha, this is going to go for 20 years. Ketu will be for about 7 years, and Sun is for about 6 years. So it's a cycle. Every planet controls the human beings' lives by a certain period of time, which is already predefined by our rishis. So each of these dashas and antardashas keeps coming, and during those times, actually, the results of these planets can be felt in greater detail. All right. So the effect of Saturn will be more during the Shani Dasha. The effect of Buddha or Mercury is more during the Mercury Dasha. Okay, and this is ruled by this. This Mercury is ruling the Ashlesha, Jeshta, Revati. I'm just reading out few examples. All the 27 of them are listed here, and I will be making more videos to explain how the effects will be felt, whenever there is a particular dasha is going on for a particular person. We can take some case studies. I'll put up some horoscopes and give you more briefings. Okay, now we have come to the end of this video. If you have any questions, please type it in the comment section. Whenever I have time, I will come back to you. So I would request you all to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon, so that you will always get my videos on priority as and when I keep posting it into the YouTube. Thank you very much.